Hi everyone. Today I wanted to share with you a guide on 10 places to teach English online in 2020. So if you're a teacher, if you're not a teacher, if you are a native speaker, if you're not a native speaker, if you're looking for some extra ways to earn some money by teaching online, then I'd like to share with you 10 places where you can teach English online in 2020. I know with a lot of craziness that's going on in the world right now, it's never been a better time to start getting into teaching online and doing something from home that you can do easily. So if you're a native speaker, if you're not a native speaker, if you are a teacher, if you're not a teacher, then hopefully I'll be able to share with you some options and some websites where you can teach online. I did write an article on my website a few weeks ago, which I will share with you, and I'll put a link to if you want to take a look at it. But yeah, let's get started and let's take a look at some different websites. So the first one here is Itoki. The reason that I put this first is really because of the flexibility, and anyone could basically teach on this website. So the reasons why I like Itoki, this is a website that I teach on myself, so I have experience teaching on here. You can teach almost any language. You can be a community tutor, which just means that you're not certified, or you could be a professional teacher, which means certified. You can set your own schedule, you can set your own lessons, you can set your own rates of how much you want to charge for the lesson, the times. So there's a lot of flexibility, which is really, really appealing to a lot of people, including myself, which is why I started. In terms of the application, you do need to take some time to go through it. It will take you a little while, but it's definitely worthwhile once you get through it. You do also have to prepare a video introduction. Now, it can take a little time to make that, and if you do have the time to prepare that, that is definitely worth doing. And if you do have professional certifications, that will help you. That might mean you can charge a little bit more to your students, or you can get a little bit more exposure. So Italki definitely is a great platform. I have also written an article just on Italki on the website, so I'll link that as well if you want to take a look. But this is the first one, and this is a good place to get started. So the second website I want to show you is VIPKid. I'm sure you've all seen this all over the internet, all over your phones. It's bright orange, colorful, appealing. Work when and where you want, and it's $22 an hour. Now, a couple of things with this website. I haven't taught in it myself. I've been very close to giving it a try. But with the times, you do have to be available usually during certain blocks of time. The students are younger students, so they're children based in China primarily. But it is, a very good way to get in if you have energy, if you're enthusiastic. They're all about TPR, physical responses. A lot of teachers, a lot of students, a lot of classes. And with VIPKid, it's quite easy to go through the interview process. Again, take some time to research. There's a lot of good videos about the interview process. You can earn, it says up to $22 an hour. Now, I think starting out, it's closer to maybe 18 to 20. And as it says here, it's made up of between $7 to $9 per 25-minute class plus incentives. So if you're on time, if you get good reviews, if you're consistently doing the right things, then you can earn up to $22 an hour, which isn't bad for teaching. It does say you can select your own hours, which is true to some extent, but again, they are going to be kind of limited. So it could mean early mornings or late nights. So it's up to you. In terms of commitments, it says a 6-month minimum commitment. You can work as much or as little as you'd like. And do you need to be able to speak Chinese? The short answer is no, you do not. But this is a good option, like I said, primarily for US and Canadian-based teachers. You don't need to be American or Canadian, but you have to be based there. So that's another good option. So the next one is Landy. I have met a few teachers who've taught on Landy, and they've been fairly positive with it. I'll just quickly take you to the homepage so you can see what it looks like, because I have just skipped straight onto the recruitment pages. So let me take a look here. So in terms of Landy, they do have a few different requirements. So again, it's an online application. How long does it take? About a week. And the process, again, submit your CV or your resume, interview and contracts, training, orientation, so start teaching. Again, agreements, 1 year instead of 6 months compared to VIPKid. and a minimum number, you need to be able to offer at least 12 hours, again, during Beijing time, 3 hours and 4 days each week. So it is a little bit of a commitment, but if you're consistently teaching and making good money, then it could be a really good option and a little bit of stability. Again, the interview will happen on Skype, and in the interview, you need to be energetic, good quality in terms of your language and realia, so in terms of your use of English, and being able to give instructions to beginner level students. So really taking time to explain things slowly and simply is really useful, as well as, showing physical objects and, really making the lessons fun and interesting for the students. Hourly rate on here, 12 to 21. So again, that depends on your interview, that depends on your experience. Tax is a whole nother video, so I'm not going to get into that. But again, you'd be responsible basically for that. Paid via bank transfer, and you do get pay stubs, which may or may not be important to you. Students in the lesson, there's 2 students in a class now. Majority of online teaching is 1-to-1. With this one, it's 2. Now that could work in your favor or not, because there's peer learning and they prefer this style of teaching and learning. So everything's provided for you. It's going through their own software. And then again, if one student's there, you can still teach. And again, beginner level, so you really need to use TPR and body gestures to begin. Again, technical questions, nothing too major with that, but with Landy and VIP Kid, they're fairly similar. There's just a few differences there to be aware of, but another good option. So the next one is Tutor Group. This one is a little bit different in terms of what they teach and the requirements as well. So if you look at the requirements here, bachelor's degree or higher is needed. You do need a TESOL, or TESOL certification, and at least 1 year of experience, and then 5 peak hours per week. So that one is a little bit different from the others. Also flexible schedule, can work from home, supportive staff, we know this. This is the whole reason why we teach online. Different ages of students. So you might get children, you might get adults, you have some choice in that. Again, so that will kind of depend on what you are experienced in, what you've done in the past, and also what you can offer to students. So again, this one is a little bit different again, because in terms of the ages of students and are you qualified. So again, you need the bachelor's, the TESOL, TEFL, 5 hours a week. How's the pay? This is the important question. It's not really too clear on that from the research that I did previously for the article, which I will just quickly share with you on iTutor. Yep, it's up to $24 per lesson. But again, it depends on your qualifications and your interview. So that is iTutor. Another one here is Dada. Now, again, this one is growing in popularity, and it's quite similar to VIP Kid and Landy. So again, I'll quickly go over the requirements here. Same kind of things, lots of students, choose your own hours, lots of support. And again, another really feasible option. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, then you will not be able to apply for this one. What kind of requirements do they need? So they need some kind of TESOL or TEFL certification, some teaching experience, supporting documents, non-criminal background check. So this one is a little bit more stringent, but again, in terms of where you need to be located, you can be anywhere, so you have a little bit more flexibility with that. And again, it's Chinese students that you'll be teaching primarily. You have the interview online, and you do a short little mock demo class. How many students in each class? 1-to-1. And again, pay will be the 15th of each month, pretty standard. And the kinds of pay raises. So it does say there's pay raises across time. I don't know exactly how that works. And then again, trial class conversion. So you'll have some trial lessons with students. If you convert them, you'll get a bonus. And then a step bonus up to $7 per hour. So there are a lot of bonuses here. The agreement would be 6 months, probably. And then can you take breaks? So 24 hours in advance for short term, long term 15 days. Now, one kind of, not a criticism, but one thing that a lot of teachers do bring up with these sites is that they're not the most flexible in terms of taking time off, or, you know, just taking a few days off or having a weekend off. You do need to be kind of strictly in that schedule, which could work for some people, might not work for others. So that's why I really like Itoki personally. But again, it's up to you. It's up to your skills and experience. So another one here is Q-Kidz. So I'm sure you're seeing a pattern here of these kind of Chinese-based online teaching websites, but they're all, you know, feasible options. They all seem like good options, well-paid options. So let's take a little look at this one, Q-Kidz. So it says here, select North American teachers. So teachers are from North America, so that's the US and Canada. Need an English teaching certification, TESOL, TEFL, CELTA, and teaching experience. So pretty strict, the requirements here. So little typo there, but that's okay. So let's take a quick look here. Yep, 100% from US and Canada. And they talk about 5 rounds of screening. So a little bit stricter, a little bit more stringent than the other sites. So resume screening, video interviews, training and trial class, background check, formal hiring, continuous assessment. So this one is definitely more based on, you know, higher quality teachers and better qualified teachers. But in terms of pay with Q-Kidz, let's go down to number 6, which is what we were just looking at. So for this one, $16 is the base rate with a $1 attendance bonus on top. So about $17 an hour. Do need to commit to 6 hours a week, which is done through the app, and that's where you can set your schedule. So that one is Q-Kidz. So the next one we're going to look at is EF, English First. This one is interesting. I have met a few people who actually work for EF and have taught with EF, and I've heard some mixed things from the online program. Now, again, you have 2 options, teaching kids online or teaching adults online. For the kids online, let's take a look at this one first. With this, $13 to $16 per hour, dependent on experience and qualifications. Straightforward pre-teaching, Q&A, easy to use, custom designed platform, online classroom, high quality lesson materials. So all pretty standard. This pay is a little bit lower. And then 25-minute lessons. And again, you have to provide feedback to the parents as well, and have availability during those peak times in China, which might work for you, which, you know, it can be very early in the morning, can be quite late at night. And then also need a bachelor's degree in any field. So a bachelor's and to be available during those times. Another option for EF is teaching adults online. Now, the pay with this one is a little bit lower, starting at $12 an hour. But again, same kind of resources, materials, support, etc. So 2 options with this. And again, 20 and 40-minute lessons, 45-minute group lessons. So you could have some groups in there as well. And again, you need to deliver the prepared material and verbal feedback. So a little bit different, but something to look at as well. So another option you might want to consider is Q-Kidz. This one states earn $14 to $25 per hour. Now, in terms of the requirements, they want a bachelor's degree at least, which is pretty standard. And again, that is basically all that is on here in terms of the requirements. Don't need to be in any particular place, just have to have a stable internet connection. And again, go through the interview, orientation, 1-to-many live training session, 1-to-1 mock class, and then do your paperwork. Contract is primarily 6 months and subject to renewal. So this one is a little bit more, I guess would be a little bit more unusual. I don't know many people who've taught with this site, but I have seen some reviews and I have seen that it's getting quite a lot of buzz, so it does seem pretty reputable. In terms of the class, again, $7 to $10 per class. Could go up a little bit more to 10, and then for the hour between 14 and 25. So again, it depends on experience, classes, etc. Yeah, so that one is Q-Kidz. So maybe you're not a native speaker, maybe you're based in another country, or you don't quite meet the requirements of these other sites. So there is another one here, another interesting option, a couple of interesting options. So the first one is called 51talk.ph, and this one is primarily for teachers based in the Philippines. Now, there is a lot of English teachers based in the Philippines, so this could be a nice alternative for you. So it's 51talk.ph. Again, set your own schedule, work from home, different culture, etc. on this. So I have seen some teachers teaching on this. The pay is a little bit less than some of the other sites. I believe it's around the $10 to $12 mark. And I don't know too much about this, but I did just want to offer it as an alternative and something that that is available for other teachers if the other sites are not available for you. And then there's just one last option that I want to share with you, and one more website. It's a little bit different, but again, could be a potential option for you. So this one is called English Hunt, and this works kind of like a conversation, kind of like a phone call via Skype, just a Skype chat with students, $14 per hour. And this is for Korean students, not Chinese students. So again, times are here, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. EST. Need to have a BA, ESL degree preferred, 4 years of teaching experience, or substitute teaching certification, and curriculum provided. So essentially, you're just going to be connected with a student or two students, and it's just having conversations about daily activities, hobbies, basic things like that. So this is a nice alternative if you don't want the formal teaching of the other options. Again, the programs begin August 26th, so you do have some time for that, and it's throughout the school year. Must be a US citizen, but you can live abroad, and you need to have a US bank account. So those are the requirements. But if you are based in the US, this could be a really good option if you're a US citizen and you have a US bank account, but you don't have to live there. So those are some different options. So those are 10 different websites that I've shared with you for teaching English. Hopefully you found that useful. My full post is available, which I'll put below if you want to take a look through that. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions about teaching English online. I hope you found this useful, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you again soon. Thanks, bye.